Hey guys, I'm Paula. That's Brandon.
Hey.
Let's take a look at our top 6 single-issue comics being released this week by independent publishers.
All right, so what do you got for me?
Let's start with Undiscovered Country, number 2 from Image Comics.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Snyder soul, a million people on the cover of that book, but yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
I still
like
haven't
it.
read the first issue.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really good.
I put it on the top 5, and then I brought it home, and then you stole it from me, and I still have not read this thing.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. They receive a message from the U.S., which has been closed off for about 30 years now. They're basically kind of baiting them to come in because they've got a cure for this plague called Sky.
Yeah.
Now, people are just dying left, right, and center, and so it's very, very sad. So obviously they have to try to get this cure. So they go over, right? And they get in, and it doesn't go so well. You know how much I love my dystopian, weird future stories, and
I
anything.
didn't know that.
Didn't.
That's
no,
news to
no,
me.
Yeah, and this is tied into politics. I love that it's a wall. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I'm very. I'm very excited to keep reading this.
I remember hearing an interview with Snyder about this book, and they were razzing him about how it's somewhat prescient to our current situation.
Yeah, they finally built the wall to keep people out, keep the disease out, but for some reason they need people in. So something about that's just shady. So my first pick again is Undiscovered Country number 2 from Image Comics.
Cool. All right, so let's start off with Gideon Falls number 19 from Image Comics. As common as your taste for dystopia is.
Oh yeah, you've never talked about this one before.
Yeah, so we're back on the Gideon Falls bandwagon. You know what I really liked about early issues of this book was all of the mythology about the plowmen. And they're now, in this arc, they're coming back around to that mythology kind of in a different way. Because everything's kind of been inverted. If you haven't read Gideon Falls in a while, you're going to come back in and be like, wait, I thought this was like that, and that was like this. And like everything's kind of, it's like someone hit the reset button on everything. Like it's hard for me to explain without giving spoilers, but...
Yeah.
So I always thought in those early issues that it was such a waste that it seemed to wrap up so quickly. It was just like this one kind of hysteric diatribe from the sheriff's dad about about what the plowmen were over all these centuries and stuff. And now they're revisiting a little bit more. Like I really want them to like expand on that as much as possible.
Of course.
So that's why this is back on this list, because this arc has kind of rejuvenated my interest in the story again. So my first pick this week is going to be Gideon Falls number 19 from Image Comics.
Very cool. All right, I'm going to take Battle Pug number 4.
Nice.
From Image Comics. You know I love this book. It's very cool, super bright, colorful.
I've only read issue number 1, which I absolutely loved. The Putin bear and the Trump puppet was amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, a lot of social commentary. It's a lot of fun kind of, nods to the last Comundian's gonna fight Juan Diego, the Wendigo.
That's awesome.
Juan Diego, Wendigo.
There you go. I like that.
It's very cute.
Yeah, that's in a nutshell right there what this book is.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do have to get back on this title. It's a great pick.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. You've got to check it out. So my second pick is Battle Pug number 4 from Image Comics.
Okay, cool. So for me, next up, I'm going to take a new number 1 from Boom Studios. It's called The Red Mother. What I can kind of tell you about this book, basically our main character loses her sight. She has prosthetic eyes, and over the course of the events of the story unfolding, it seems as though she can see this otherworldly being. But the catch is this otherworldly being can see her.
Interesting.
And it's, so presumably, it's kind of like a paranormal Daredevil situation.
Kinda,
for lack of a better way to describe it, where her sights are heightened almost to, or at least to be sensitive enough to interpret per se the presence of this supernatural being. And now Boom Studios has been absolutely killing it with horror and thriller titles lately. we've been loving a lot of their stuff. You know, we were just talking off air about Something's Killing the Children, which also has an issue coming out this week that we're both behind on. Yeah, so for my next pick, I'm going to put my trust in a new #1 from Boom Studios because they haven't let me down lately with some of these. Anything that looks good that's coming out from them and really
tends to be good.
Anything that looks like it's going to blow my hair back generally does. You know, so I'll take Red Mother #1 from Boom Studios as my next pick.
Sweet. So I'm up next.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm picking Criminal Macabre from Dark Horse Comics.
Yeah, this is a first. You stole my number 3 pick. Your number 3 pick is my number 3 pick.
I know. Kind of just, I looked at the cover, I'm like, this looks neat. And then you're like, no!
Yeah. So this is a book written by Steve Niles, who, you know, we actually mentioned Steve Niles last week on the New Comic Book Day Top 5 because he's releasing a new 5-part series with Storm King Comics. But, you know, if you know the name, you know from 30 Days of Night, for example, he wrote that. And this book has been going on. Criminal Macabre has been a series that they've been doing since the early 90s, I want to say. And, you know, ironically, the best way to describe Criminal Macabre is if you imagine that the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie wasn't Constantine and was just like its own character because it pretty much is. It's just like using names. You know, kind of, sort of. So that's kind of a good basis to understand what Criminal Macabre is. He's a detective, but he plays with paranormal kind of stuff. His name is Cal McDonald. They've released there's some really cool artists that have worked on the book. I know Kelly Jones was on the book for a while. Pointy Batman ears to contextualize that.
Yes.
And you know, there's actually a couple of like novels for the series, which I haven't read, but I'd like to. I think I saw one on like Audible or something like that. I was going to download it.
Really?
Yeah. But in any case, so yeah, that's kind of what you're getting into. There's a long lineage. If you like this story, there's a ton of stories you can go back, you know, as early as, you know, 20 plus years ago, 30 years ago, and get into.
He's retired and he's being pulled back in. There's a story here with something with like a woman. I don't know. I'm just reading the information and I want to know what's going on. Why would he come out of retirement? What is this woman's role that's so mysterious?
Yeah, I think it implies in the solicitation text that it is vampire, and it's very femme fatale, very like, you know, if you're a fan of specifically detective style noir films, then you know,
then it's got that feel.
I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
you know, I like the series very much. I've always been, you know me, I am very attracted to that kind of.
I do know you.
But the noir and the detective stuff separate from the noir, and also that sort of aesthetic. So, you know, I think you'll very much like it as well.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it too. I might even let you read it.
If you like it, I'll show you some of the older Criminal Macabre stuff. Sweet.
So my third pick this week is Criminal Macabre, The Big Bleed Out, 1 of 4 from Dark Horse Comics. All right, so what's your last pick?
So I'm going to take The Goon, #7 from Albatross Funny Books, because I love The Goon, as you know. Another book that we've talked about a lot on the original version of the podcast, and one I'm sure we'll talk about many times more, because I love this book. And currently right now I'm going back and collecting as much as I can of the Dark Horse published stuff. And it's something that's interesting. A book that I'm actually looking for is what got me to picking The Goon for my last pick this week. Because our original pick for my final book, we moved it over to the New Comic Book Day Top 5 because
that's right.
So you guys got to check that video out because it's going to be #1 on that list. That was my third pick, and then my second pick you stole. So I parlayed from that second pick to The Goon, and I wanted to point this out, that your last pick and my last pick have a crossover from, you know, about 8 years ago, or 8.5 years ago, that came out on Dark Horse, because obviously Criminal Macabre was originally published by Dark Horse, and then it went over to like Image and some different, IDW I think had it for a while, and now it's back at Dark Horse. the same thing with the Goon, because I'm trying to collect some of the back issues for the Goon from Dark Horse now.
Yeah.
And now it's over at Albatross Funny Books, right? So it's just kind of funny. You know, I'm definitely looking for that crossover. So if anyone has it, you know, but in the meantime, the Goon #7, as you can see from this amazing cover, the Goon has apparently kidnapped the Lindbergh baby, and I love this book. It's insanity, it's monsters, it's horror, it's comedy, it's all sorts of fun. It's beautifully drawn, it's beautifully written, and I love it. I can tell you one thing, I've never bought any of the B covers that are the cardstock covers.
How come?
Because I always love the A covers so much, and this is no exception. You know,
it is awesome.
In private, Nick has given me a little bit of guff a few times for not picking, you know, not paying the extra $2 and picking up the, you know, the B covers for some of these amazing cardstock covers from these guest artists. But I'm not going to lie to you, every single one of these A covers that have come out on the Albatross run have been beautiful. This is no exception. I'm very excited to spend my $3.99 US instead of my $5.99 US, and I'll just take better care of it because I love them so much. So that's my final pick for this week, the Goon #7 from Albatross Funny Books. If you aren't reading it, definitely check this series out.
Very cool. For a full breakdown of our list, hit the link in the description below or visit explodingearths.com. Remember to subscribe wherever you're viewing or listening to us. Leave us a like and let us know in the comments what new books you're picking up this week. Check out our new Comic Book Day Top 5 for more cool comics dropping this week. Bye, guys.